Hello.
Dumb Guy Live. We're here.
Hello, mate.
How's
It's
it going,
Dumb Guy
everybody?
Live.
It's bloody Dumb Guy Live. I love it. Oh, we've already got a comment from Parker Klein, I guess is how it's pronounced.
Yo.
Really looking forward to the show. My favorite cast member is Jamie.
Yo.
Look at that, Jamie.
Thank
You
you.
have a fan.
Thank you, Parker.
Maybe
I
donate some
appreciate
money next time, Parker. You fucking
Oh, yeah.
cheapskate. But
That's
we're only meant to show you comments if you pay us, so watch yourself.
That's right.
Well, thank you.
Yeah. All right. We got me. I'm P. I'm sick, so please be nice. We've got Monty with no camera. He's bloody tired. He'll probably just hang out for the first bit, and then we've got Murph, and we got Jamie-san.
I'm
and
back.
Here.
Yo.
I'm back.
Murph's back. Murph showed up to work for once. Jesus.
Murph's here. Murph's on
I showed up.
time.
I'm on time, unlike some people. I'm good.
Unlike some people. I feel like we were all on time, but in any case,
talking about the person on the show tomorrow night. So Thursday night. Sorry, Thursday night. Sorry,
Thursday night. Oh, that sucked. We literally waited for like 45 minutes for him last week. I hate him anyway. This is not his show.
Yeah.
He will never be on this show. It's Dumb Guy Live. We're talking about some Japanese pro wrestling because even though I'm sick, I eat, drink, sleep this shit. I live this shit. It's not a game.
There's been no breaking WWE news that we can talk about this week, unless Stephanie McMahon does something else in the next hour. It's Japanese.
2 executives left the company today, but
Merv, for those watching, Merv's been politicking for us to put some AEW or WWE talent in the thumbnail, try and pop a rating.
Mark
he's trying to pop a
he doesn't
rating.
believe in Puro, He's trying to hot shot. I was trying to hot shot. Don't go along,
Yeah, it's like, dude, just do
Just
the
accept
product.
it. You know what I mean? It's
Right.
going to be a slow grind. We're not going to
We're
blow
not
up
WWE.
overnight.
The reason I wanted the
We're New Japan.
ratings.
You
pop
saw
so
last
bad
week.
is, I didn't want
He
people
felt
to be
bad
saying-
because he wasn't on the show.
I didn't want people to be saying like, "Oh yeah, Dumb Guy Live, they did really good." You know why they did really good? Because Murph wasn't on the show. So I wanted to end that narrative once and for all.
It's like me as well, bro. It's like I wanted to take credit for the big number, but the reality of it is that Stephanie McMahon stepped down about 30 minutes before the podcast went live. So, I can't.
We had to talk about it. What are we gonna do? A fucking pod about fucking Dragon Gate when Stephanie McMahon is leaving her position
as CEO of the company.
We're like, what about Madoka Kakuta? How's he doing? While Stephanie fucking McMahon is leaving WWE. Anyway. Yeah. So that's the situation. We will not have as many viewers as last week, but that's okay because we're here to talk about Japanese pro wrestling. Yeah, who needs them? Fellas, what the freaking hell do you want to talk about first? Do you want to talk about Wrestle Kingdom 17 part 3 or part 2? Part 2 this year? Last year it was part 3. This year it's part 2. Dual promoted with Noah, just like last year, Pro Wrestling Noah. We got a series of 5 singles matches. LIJ, Los Ingobernables de Japón versus Congo of Noah. It's red on red. It's gonna be great. I'm super excited for and he's got red right there. And that's why we're fucking professionals here. Okay.
Yeah, I'm happy to see a lot more singles matches this year. Obviously they did this last year and it was a lot of multi-man matches, people not wanting to neither company wanted their guys to lose. This year we got some big singles matches, so particularly the two co-main events.
Yeah, let's talk about those, and then let's talk about like booking implications of them because I think that's kind of interesting too. Last year, the big criticism, like you said, of course, was very little singles matches. It was, in fact, there was just one, and it was Atsushi Kotoge
Show
versus Show. Like, what a waste of time, right?
I don't know
because Show fucking sucks right now. Just his gimmick. So it's like it was stupid. Now, with that being said, I still had faith in the show. I thought it was going to be pretty good. Of course, no singles matches limits probably the ceiling it can be. I still thought last year the final 2 matches were both awesome. The 10-man tag between LIJ and Congo, which sets up this year's show, and then of course Keiji Muto and Kaito Kiyomiya against Kazuchika Okada Hiroshi Tanahashi. I mean, I thought that was an excellent main event and one of the better Muto performances in his like sort of retirement tour, so to speak. So that's what we're coming from this year. They seem to have taken those criticisms to heart, and they're like, you know what? We're not going to put our tip-top stars, although Naito and Keno are pretty close up there, as are, of course, Shingo and Nakajima.
Yeah.
Shingo and Nakajima is a big one, too.
But the idea of big singles matches will outweigh the big-time star power at the top of the card. So let's go through this. Our main event is going to be Tetsuya Naito, of course, one of New Japan's most popular wrestlers over the last decade, leader of LIJ, former multiple-time IWGP champion, and he's going to be taking on the leader of Congo in Keno. Super exciting match. I'm stoked for this double main event here, especially considering, especially including this match in the main event. Personally, Keno is my favorite Pro Wrestling Noah wrestler. I adore him. I think he's an awesome wrestler. I think he tears down the house like the majority of the time he's in a match. And he's just had incredible singles matches with Go Shiozaki and Kaito Kiyomiya, of course, just this year, right? Late last year with Hideki Suzuki in the N1 is one of those matches that people don't really talk about, but it was incredible. So if you're unfamiliar with the Noah side of things, or if you only really sort of cursorily check in on like the Budokan shows or when they do interpromotional stuff, like check out these co-main events here. Naito versus Keno. Murph, how you feel about this main event?
It's a big match, you know. You wanted big matches, they gave you big matches. I think Naito and Kano, you know, I think the winner is I think unless they do a draw, I think we all know who's probably going to win, which just a matter of the business, but it's a big match, and you know,
Are you saying you think Naito's winning?
I really can't see Naito losing.
I don't know, man. I think that's go ahead. Sorry, go ahead. What's your
struggle? Like I'm just gonna put it right now. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong. But I just don't. I'm not feeling a Kano win. But it's gonna be a great match. You know, both guys are really good. This isn't the match of the top two that I'm looking forward to the most, just because I prefer the two guys in the match before it. But you know, it's gonna be a tremendous match, and you know, I'm not. It's gonna be awesome, and I'm very excited.
Jamie, are you excited for this one?
Yeah, absolutely. Just similar stuff. Like you mentioned Keno's your favorite from Noah. My personal favorite would be Nakajima, the guy in the other co-main, but Keno would be a very close second. You know, those two guys really got me back into Noah in the last couple of years. And I love the build to this one. They've had some really funny moments. Obviously, if you saw it, was it yesterday?
Right, yeah, it was like the last couple of days. It was Congo was doing a signing. I think it was just yesterday after their Sunny Voyage show in, I believe, Yokohama. The LIG people are doing a fan sign, the Congo people are doing a fan sign. This is at a Noah show, and all of LIJ shows up, and they're like, oh man, we're such big fans. We're so excited to be. You know, can I get Keno's autograph? Can I get Nakajima's autograph? It was very funny. And I liked them actually working to do some sort of actual build for the match outside of the sort of small stuff where Congo was backstage at Wrestle Kingdom and of course the stuff from last year. So yeah, I think.
Yeah. Did you see the
Jamie.
video? Did you see the video of Keno speaking afterwards? So that I think it might have been on his YouTube. And he's complaining that the LIJ boys still owe him money because they didn't pay to get in.
He's like, why weren't they wearing masks? You're supposed to wear a mask if you're going to do a fan sign.
He's like one of the most like serious wrestlers in the world, but he manages to still be like hilarious in the way.
That's like his gimmick is that he is so intense and takes this thing so seriously that, you know, to not take wrestling seriously in any sense is like an affront to his being. It's what and of course it's an act, but it's what makes it's an act, but it's what makes it so good. Like he did a comedy match at the Hana Kimura Memorial Show against, I think, Black Mensure, was it?
Yes.
Last year. That was so funny. It was so great. And so Keno is just an incredible performer. He puts his heart and soul into what he does. So Murph,
Also,
I think he might
reason.
win.
Also, Kano doesn't
Yeah, I
really
do
wrestle
too.
outside of he doesn't really wrestle outside of Noah. So even seeing him against Naito, is a very nice treat because he's a guy who really only wrestles for Noah, this is another reason to be excited for this.
Yeah, he practically never wrestles outside of Noah. So to
He
get
worked
some into
the,
promotional stuff like this
He
is
worked
really
the Dragon
exciting.
Gate show last year, and he's worked the DDT cross promotion shows. But outside of that, he's been all Noah. So that's another reason why this is just very exciting.
So I'm gonna go over some super chats really quick. I want you guys to think about the match results in this 5-match series, because I tend to think it'll go 3-2, but in favor of New Japan. But I'd be interested in. I think it's a possibility that they do 4-1. Far 5-2-2-2 as always. Like the Stash Parker. Thank you. Or like the videos and sub. Best Pro Analysis Team. Wrestle Purist Heart. Thank you, Far. Yes, I appreciate the compliment. And yes, please like the videos, subscribe. I hope you guys are enjoying the show so far. We love Japanese pro wrestling. I think there's a lot of like fucking freaks who talk about it, so I'm glad that we can be like normal people when we're talking about this shit.
Just a good non-toxic wrestling podcast we are. It's just good. It's just good vibes,
We're just a couple non-toxic wrestling fans.
Karl Marx, on behalf of the Communist Party, that mustache is looking sharp. Parker, he's not Russian. That mustache, I assume you meant to say mustache, defines what a true proletarian should look like. I agree. It's very workmanlike. I got my trucker hat on, and I have my my sauna of the K-pop band Twice NASA imitation sweatshirt on. All very workmanlike things. So yeah, I appreciate the compliment.
A lot of hardworking men that love K-pop.
That's right. It's a very proletarian thing to like. Okay. Rob is in fact the freak in question.
At least
thank you for the $1.99 super
He
chat.
is a weird kid.
Rob NTWF, thank you. Appreciate it. Okay. All right. So let's talk about this 5-match. Well, okay. We'll quickly talk about specifically Shingo and Nakajima first. Then we'll go into the other matches, because I think the other ones aren't quite as important, right? It's definitely all about those last two. So Shingo Takagi, who, by the way, will, after this show, challenge for the IWGP World Heavyweight Championship against Kazuchika Okada, against Katsuhiko Nakajima, who at this time last year was GHC Heavyweight Champion, right? He, it felt like the culmination of his ascent in Noah. It felt like he was going to be champion for a long time. Then there was that shock finish against Fujita where he lost the title. And he's kind of been in limbo since then. He had a couple of controversies too, with essentially injuring Tetsuya Endo and Kinya Okada, who is returning soon, by the way. But
who do you injure at the press conference? There was another guy.
Oh, and Atsushi Katoge, but that one I felt, that I gave him some credit on that one. My guess is he wasn't. I think that was an accident. I think the Okada one was an accident, but very reckless. And I think the Endo one, it's impossible to say whether it was intentional or not. But you can tell that Jun Akiyama was shoot pissed at it, and so I feel like that needs to be noted. And also, it just sucks like that. Endo was DDT's champion at the time. It completely messed up their summer plans and all that type of stuff. So, in any case, Shingo versus Nakajima, I think you can make an argument. I think some people would make this argument that these are the two purely best in-ring wrestlers in their respective companies. I think you would get multiple people who would say that. And so on paper, it's like, okay, here we go. It's not a first-time matchup. Did you know they wrestled in like 2013 and nobody cared about it because they weren't important at the time? But yes, this is obviously way bigger of a stage. It's just like Omega Ospreay having wrestled in the past. But Murph, Shingo, I feel like has to win this one, considering he's going to be challenging for that title.
Yeah, I mean, he's also defending that gimmick title, but also, he has that big match, and this is the most sure thing on the card. You know that he's gonna win. So yeah, feel pretty confident that Shingo's gonna win in a very good match. But Nakajima's not really a winner anyway. So it's not like he's someone that he loses pretty often. So I think that Nakajima losing in 18 minutes, Shingo isn't gonna do anything. It's good business.
Match should be incredible. I mean, the match should be just incredible. What do you think, Jamie?
Yeah, like I mentioned before, Nakajima's my favorite Noah wrestler. Shingo is like very, very up there as one of my favorite New Japan talents. And there were two guys who were, I believe they were both champion. Were they both champion around the same time?
I think Nakajima. I think Shingo. Well, yeah. So I guess they would have had like 3 days where they were where they were both champion from the first to the fourth.
They were both like on top of their game around the same period anyway. But both kind of being like slightly on the back burner. But I do think Shingo will be picking up this win with the IWGP match going up, and I think that makes me slightly more confident that I think Keno will beat Naito, because I don't think. Well. I don't see New Japan winning both of the big matches, and it just feels, again, Naito's kind of been on the back burner. I don't really know, what the plan is with him. I think he can take a loss there, but Shingo, I think, will absolutely win this, and regardless, the quality of these two, I think it's going to be an insane match.
So here's the Bushi of New Japan versus Tadasuke of Noah. All right. I feel like Tadasuke's winning that. He's the most pushed junior in Congo. And they just like Tadasuke, clearly.
Yeah.
I think he's gonna win. Sorry about that, guys. Again, like I said, I'm sick, everybody. I'm doing my best. Yeah, I do think he's gonna win that one.
If you guys send more super chats, then Parker will get better quicker.
That's right. The more super chats you send, the better I perform.
Keep them coming.
Yep. So
medical bills, all that good stuff.
Of course, yeah. I'm a teacher. We famously
he's helping the next generation. You got how do you
right? I need it. I have to go to school tomorrow. I have to get everybody else sick. It's really important. I would go over the Hiromu match.
So Bushi and Tadasuke, which I think Tadasuke is gonna win. Then Hiromu versus Hajime Ohara. So, a very nice guy, who's a great wrestler and one of the best in the world, facing a scumbag. So I mean, just morally, I hope Hiromu Takahashi wins, but also Hiromu Takahashi is a much better wrestler. So I think Hiromu Takahashi wins that one. And then
he's New Japan's junior champ. Like, he's not losing this one.
Yeah. And then Sonata versus Manabu Soya. Manabu Soya, I don't know how this is going to end up being 3-2, because I think 3 and 5 are going to go one or the other way. And I think it has to be Sonata beating Manabu Soya, because Manabu Soya doesn't really win very often. So I honestly think that, Keno actually beat Naito. I rephrase what I said earlier. But so if I had to make my prediction, I would go Tadasuke, Hiromu, Sonata, Shingo, and then Keno.
Yeah. So here's something.
I'm pretty set on the same as Murph, to be honest.
Here's something that's weird, which is that, and maybe this is where Naito ends up winning. So Soya, by the way, Soya and Sonata have history. They were I believe they were tag champs together in Wrestle 1. So that's kind of cool. Soya is the next challenger for the GHC National Championship, and that match is not till February. So it'd be weird to have him lose a singles match before that. But I mean, but Soya loses all the fucking time, and Sonata's like actually kind of protected. They could do a draw. They could do like 3-1-1, which I think would kind of stink. But I really hope they don't do a draw.
It'd be 2-2-1.
Well, yeah, I think if they do a draw, they're not doing 2-2-1. If you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Really quickly from the custodian BPJ, Parker, my BFF, Murph, my favorite Trump supporter, and Jamie, my favorite chick magnet. This is all accurate. Keep up the good work. Like the video, you guys. Okay, so final predictions. Everybody just go down. Does anybody think... Okay, we'll go down. Anybody think Bushi's beating Tadasuke? Anybody think Hajime Ohara's beating Hiromu? Anybody think Soya's going to end up beating Sonata?
I don't think so.
No, I don't think so.
either. No, I don't. It just doesn't.
And
It's
I
weird
think
that he's the next challenger.
he's gonna. I
but-
mean, Dr. Wagner will probably steamroll him.
Yeah. Okay. We're all in agreement. Shingo's going to beat Nakajima,
I guess.
and then so Murph is going to go Naito in the main
I'm
event.
gonna go actually switch. I'm gonna go Keno.
Okay. Now I'm thinking draw. I hadn't considered a draw.
Doing
But
a
I'm
draw
actually
in the
thinking
event
they might
just
do
seems
a
like
draw.
bad business though. Draw in the
I
main
don't know,
event.
man. I think they might do it. Now that you mention it. So, what do you think, Jamie?
I hadn't considered a draw, but I'm gonna stick with Keno. Just the, like you said, I think it will be a 3-5. Sorry, 3-2. And I'm pretty set on the other 4 matches. So I'm thinking, yeah, I think Keno will take this.
Because I've not really sat down and give this card too much thought before doing this right now. Is like I've flip flopped already about 3 times.
He's like, I don't know. I actually do think draw now.
Yeah, when I just look at it, I'm like, yeah, no, it's all win. When you look at the rest of the matches, and it's like, okay, so when I know we're actually going to get a win in, it's like Shingo's obviously going to beat Nakajima. The other ones are kind of, it's like Hiromu's not going to lose, and Nada's probably not going to lose.
Tadasuke's definitely beating Bushi. I would say.
Yeah, so it's like 4-1. It's like, So when I was like adamant on Keno for like the past 5 minutes, I'm thinking they'll probably do a draw. Cause
that's what I was thinking.
I can't see New Japan genuinely just letting Naito just lie down.
Yeah,
for Keno.
in the main event of a Wrestle Kingdom show.
And it's like with Keno is genuinely like one of their guys. You know what I mean? So it's like I could imagine he would be one of the people that would want to put in the spot to get that win. You know?
I really, really, really wish that it was there was Teton versus Shuji Kondo. I mean, I don't.
That'd be sweet.
I really, 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 really wish that happened. That was on this, but I understand it's probably the full-time Sun guys on each side. But
Teton done anything worth checking up since the Super Junior?
No, there was a fucking See, this is not Teton, but the main event of the Friday CML, the January 6th Friday CMLL show, was I think Soberano versus either Templario or Mystico, I can't remember, but it was like a one fall match that went 18 minutes, and it's getting like rave reviews, and I really want to watch it. But that's the only CMLL related stuff I've thought of. Rocky Romero did an angle last Friday. This is how you know I follow wrestling, is because I know what happened on CMLL last Friday. Rocky Romero did an angle in the main event where he wanted a singles match with Volador, and then he immediately cheated to win. And so they'll probably do a hair versus hair match, I would assume. Anyway, this is not Volador chat. Okay, well, I would say 2 more matches we're talking about on this card. The biggest tag match by far is Kazuchika Okada and, of course, Togi Makabe versus Kaito Kiyomiya and Yoshiki Inamura. So top guys against kind of teaming with Lost Posts. Still cool to see Okada and Kiyomiya interactions.
Like you just know who's going to lose that match. When you see that match, like, I don't think Okada's going to lose. I don't think Kiyomiya is going to lose. I don't think Inamura is going to lose. All signs point to Togi Makabe.
I don't know, man. I think fucking Okada's going to fucking Rainmaker Inamura, and it's going to be over. You think they'll let Kiyomiya pin a former IWGP Heavyweight Champion?
Yeah, Shining Wizard.
I don't know about that.
Shining Wizard 1, 2.
Anyway, it'll be cool to see them interact, but the tag, like specifically Togi fucking Makabe, leaves a bit to be desired. And then we do have a special singles.
I really like Kiyomiya's new look in entrance. Like, I think that's really made it feel like a bigger deal. And now he's like Muto, so I really like that. So.
Yeah, he was sort of Misawa cosplay, but that spot was already taken. Like, that's half of what fucking Go Shiozaki does, and so it was good to see him get the Muto rub, and now he has like
Muto. The Muto music and the everything. So I love it.
The other I think notable match we're talking about here is special singles match between El Desperado and Yohei. which I think could be pretty fun. Desperado's kind of in a unique spot. Suzuki-gun doesn't exist so he's kind of in limbo right now. So it'll be cool to see him show up here.
Yeah. Who do you reckon will take that one? I don't really
It's
know.
got to be Desperado. Desperado's one of their top stars. Yohei's just fucking Yohei.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It'll be fun. It'll be a fun little junior match.
Okay, cool. This show, is this at Yokohama Arena?
Yes.
So this is like one of the biggest venues in Japan for wrestling. Like this is, comparably as big as probably I think it's bigger than Budokan. It's bigger than Sumo Hall.
Considered the MSG of Japan is how it's usually.
Why are they running it then? I don't. They're gonna fill it up. No, what?
Because they're running. Noah's running it the next night.
Noah's running it the next night. They got the 2 nights, and they got Great Muta final bye, which we should talk about.
Okay.
Why is that not on the fucking?
Yeah, I don't know why we're not talking about this.
It's because we're stupid. I was the only one in the chat who even remembered that this show was happening.
I didn't. Yeah, we're going to talk about Julia.
So the singles, the singles match for Muto, his actual last match, and it's not his opponent's not been announced for it yet. Is it like obvious who it's going to be, or is it like, or do people genuinely not have any?
I've been surprised every step of the way.
He says it's going to be somebody he's never faced before now, but that could mean just in like a singles setting. I always thought it was going to be Okada if it's a singles match, but I don't know.
Is that who you'd put your money on? Gun to your head? No, gun to your head.
Yeah, gun to my head. If I had to choose, it would be Okada. Yeah.
Okada,
I would say Okada.
Yeah, no, correct me. Desperado's not in the just 4 guys group, right? It's Taichi,
No.
Kanemaru, Doki, and Taka, right?
Yeah.
Desperados are seemingly aligned with Suzuki and Ren Narita.
Yeah, he's with Suzuki. He's with Suzuki-gun 3 because the second one is in All Japan.
See, Jamie watches a lot of wrestling,
Jamie knows his stuff, bro.
He does, bro. He does.
I feel like we should touch on
the watching stuff.
We should touch on the Muto show. The Muto show card is tremendous. It's a ridiculously great card.
Yeah, we're going to talk about that right now. All right, so we got main event. Also, this is also in Yokohama Arena. This is the final Great Muta match, to be clear. Now, hold on. I thought this was Keiji Muto's final match. No. I was mistaken. However, I'm not the only person who thought this. Dave and Brian were on Wrestling Observer Radio today, and they said the exact same thing. And so they didn't get it. So this
is a great Noah, great Muto final. Bye. So it'll be the team of Darby Allin, the TNT champion Darby Allin, Great Muta, and Sting versus Akira, like the Wrestle on Akira, like that Akira. Hakushi, so it's Jinsei Shinzaki wrestling as Hakushi, and Naomichi Marufuji. What a match! What a match!
I don't think literally anybody had this on their predictions list, but I do think it's fun. It's just lots of different guys with various connections to Muta throughout his career, and again specifically Muta, not just Keiji Muto. So I enjoy that.
I'm a happy man. This makes me a happy man.
Yeah, I mean, I'm looking forward to it. I've seen Hakushi is still like almost completely athletically there, like Shinzaki. He's just not at a stage of his career where he's really trying to do anything spectacular. He kind of has Goku Pro, and that's it.
He's in his Dolph Ziggler phase.
He's in his fucking Dolph Ziggler.
You never know how people are going to be in front of 20,000 people. I feel like that just brings out another layer in people. So.
Yeah, if you want to compare this to like the Jushin Thunder Liger retirement match, or not the retirement, but like the one with all the old guys.
Yeah,
like Hakushi's better than practically all the other old guys that were in that one.
I agree.
Akira is, I don't know about that. We'll see what he's able to do, but he's more of a special attraction kind of guy anyway.
I think Darby is really the wild. I think Darby just is gonna like be insane. Like
Darby's the perfect guy to be in there. I love that there's a mutual connection with Sting, and he can be the guy, he's teaming with 2 fucking 60-year-olds. He can be the one who's going to bump like crazy, make everybody on the other team look like they're in their prime, right? And, Murph and I have talked about this fucking Marufuji, incredible wrestler. He's washed. Like, he is not the Marufuji
Not
of old. But
Didn't he have a
against
good- didn't
Darby
he have a
Allin,
really good. I think it was a tag match towards the end of last year. I'm more just thinking. I'm more
he
just
was in
imagining
the-
things.
he was in the he teamed with Kenta in the tag match
Yes,
against
that's the one.
yeah, and that was good. But I mean, it was like the Sugiura and Kenta interactions. I think that really made that match.
You'd say he was like the weakest of the four guys.
Yeah,
I've still not got to it. Oh, genuinely,
Oh.
I'm so behind. I tried to watch Queendom the other day, and I've got to the main event, but I still haven't watched it.
You gotta get there, man.
I think
Nah.
Darby. I am puzzled that they're not on the card the night before. Like, I get it's New Japan Noah, but if they're going to be in Japan, I don't know how you don't put them on that Friday night card. But I'm not the guy.
The idea of Darby in Japan pops me tremendously, bro. Like,
It's cool.
Darby skating down the ramp on his skateboard, fucking. He's just.
I mean,
man,
I'm
that's
just really
cool.
I'm really looking forward to Darby being there. I would love for him to. I mean, he won't be because he's the TNT champion, so he kind of has to come back. But it would be really cool for him to hop on a Noah show or a New Japan show or something and do anything while he's over there, because he just has so much to offer, and it's just not enough for me as a fan to just see him on TNT championship matches every week.
This is Sting's probably 99% last match ever in Japan. So I mean, this is also just another. And I don't think we ever expected Sting to wrestle again in Japan. So, I think we're just going to enjoy it while it lasts with his career.
Yeah, Sting don't want to do too many of them flights, bro.
Yeah, it probably, but it hurts his hip.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm really looking forward to that. I mean, it's Muta, and it's going to be a spectacle. The Nakamura match was great, so this should be an extension of that. The card looks really good overall.
There's a
semi-main is
tag. Sorry, can I go?
I'm just going to go down it. Semi-main is super stacked. Kiyomiya, Kojima, Sugiura, and Iho de Dr. Wagner Jr. versus Kongo, which is Keno, Funaki, Nakajima, and Manabu Soya. I mean, that's a great match right there.
Great.
Sorry, guys, I'm coughing. I'm doing my best. Super fun 6-man tag here with lots of eclectic juniors. Ultimo Dragon, Amakusa, and Ninja Mac against KZ, Yohei, and Dante Leon, who I think fucking sucks. But
I think he sucks too. It's KZ.
They're doing a fucking Ninja Mac and Dante Leon like blood feud, where they keep like jumping each other before and after matches and giving each other like chair shots to the head and stuff.
I don't care. I like Ninja Mac.
Read that Ultimo Dragon team again.
Ultimo Dragon, Amakusa, who's the current GHC Junior champ, and Ninja Mac.
See, that's a trios right there. That should challenge the elite.
They got KZ on the other side too. See, that's a fun match, and they'll probably have Liger on commentary for it too. So that's cool. Unique match here: Hideki Suzuki versus Kazuchi Sakuraba under martial arts rules. I think Suzuki's really good. I am not that compelled by Sakuraba as a professional wrestler, but he'll have a lot of fun with it.
I love both of them a lot. So
anytime I've seen Sakuraba, he's like, yeah, yeah, he's the Gracie killer. It's Sakuraba, bro. But yeah,
What else we got here? Jack Morris, Jake Lee. This match is weird. Jack Morris, Jake Lee, and Anthony Green versus Masa Kitamiya, Yoshiki Inamura, and Daiki Inaba. It's a very mid-card match. This is a very mid-card match, but it's important because it's Nosawa. Nosawa, wrong guy. Yoshinari Ogawa and Eita versus Junta Miyawaki, Alejandro, and Yasutaka Yano.
Fine.
Two more, I would say, worthwhile matches here. Timothy Thatcher versus Masato Mochizuki in a singles match. Thatcher will win that. And Mochizuki will make him look really, really good. And then a Joshi match. Sayori Anu. So, yes, the current Ice Cross Infinity champion is going to be wrestling in front of more people than any Stardom show in Japan ever. So, just another feather in Ice Ribbon's cap.
Something to
ribbon
think
forever.
about, you know.
Just something to consider, Joshi fans.
Ice Ribbon wins again.
Ice Ribbon wins again. So she will be teaming with, speaking of Stardom L's, Jungle Kiona. She will be teaming with Jungle Kiona against Maya Yukihi, who Stardom still can't sign, and Natsu Sumire, who's also former Stardom.
Oedo Tai member.
Former Oedo Tai member. So this is a fun match. This is like kind of it's very nomads. And they did like a showcase match on the Tokyo Gurentai final show in December. So looking forward to that one as well.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's the big stuff
we'll-
on the show.
We'll get to Stardom, hand an Ice Ribbon, some else. We get to the main event of the next big pay-per-view.
We'll see. We'll see what they do.
Actually, he's very unliked in the Ice Ribbon, so it's actually a W.
Well, she came back and did the retirement match with Yuki Mashiro, so maybe there's more to come. Okay. What else is going on pretty soon here? There is what's that?
Dragon Gato.
Dragon Gato. Yes, I would say the biggest news in Puro over the last week or so was the Open the Dream Gate title change in Dragon Gate. We have our first new champion since Kobe World of last year, in Shun Skywalker getting his second reign with the belt. He defeated Yuki Yoshioka, main event at Korakuen Hall. This was a great match. Murph, you're the Dragon Gate guy. I'm going to let you kind of take it away here.
Tremendous match.
Walk us through it.
I was shocked. I was not expecting this result. I thought Yuki was going to hold it for a little longer. So
I did too.
I was very, very, very surprised. But it was a tremendous match. 4.5 star around
Talk
there.
me into watching it, Mark. Paint me a picture, brother.
Yeah, advertise it.
It was pretty good. It was a hell of a match. Yuki Yoshioka and Shun Skywalker. They're generational rivals. They came in the same class of rookie class, and Yuki is a very strong babyface, and Shun is a dastardly heel, and Shun was able to really just outpower Yuki Yoshioka the entire time, and that was kind of the story of the match, was that Shun had the upper hand the entire match, but Yuki kept fighting back, but eventually he just couldn't fight back anymore, and Shun Skywalker became the youngest ever 2-time Open the Dream Gate champion, which is pretty remarkable.
How old is he?
I believe
he's like 26.
I think he's younger than that.
Wait, Shun? No,
Yeah.
Shun's my age. He's 26.
26. That's my fault, but still, that's a hell of an achievement in Japan. Be a 2-time champion at 26, which is pretty unheard of considering.
If he was 23, he would have debuted in 2016 at age 16.
I didn't really think about that, but still, that's a hell of a match. And Shun's a superstar, and thank you, AO, for introducing.
It's true. It's true. It was in the Wrestle Pure script.
Yeah.
Thank you.
There.
Thank you, AO, for teaching me about Shun Skywalker. But
There was no apparently, bro. We all saw.
Yeah,
it.
why'd you say apparently?
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, it's apparent to everybody.
Shun,
Big AO actually taught all of us everything we know about Puro. He's the original.
I didn't know who Kagetora was until AO started talking about him.
Really?
So, yeah.
We have AO to thank for this podcast. So
thank you,
Thank
AO.
you,
But yeah, Shun Skywalker, he's the new Open the Dream Gate champion, and I'm very happy about the title change. And it was a slam dunk title change on the top of 2 great shows of Dragon Gate and Korakuen.
So let's first talk about this match, which I thought was excellent. So a common theme with Yuki Yoshioka's matches, they don't start out crazy hot. Like he has very patient starts to his matches. I still think he's growing as a wrestler, despite thinking he's awesome. And I mean, this was evident a little under a year ago when he won King of Gate and was getting that monster push out of that in that Yamato match, that big Yamato singles match. But I think he has yet to have that all-time like banger classic that you expect from some Open the Dream Gate title matches. I'm sure you'll disagree a little bit, Murph, but I thought the Yamato match and the Eita match were the best ones. I have the Shun one just slightly below those as I think my third favorite.
I actually, my favorite match of his reign was the Masaki.
Was it the the Mochizuki? Yeah, I thought it might be.
That just shows how subjective wrestling can be. I had that as good as any match in wrestling last year, Yuki Yoshioka versus Masaki Mochizuki, and you didn't even name it. So that just shows how subjective it can be. But I think Yuki's getting there. It's his first reign, and he's gonna have many reigns. You don't have to worry about it. But
he's the next Yamato. I mean, he's the next guy who's just going to be insanely reliable. Slot him in, no brainer. Put him in their main event scene, main event matches, main event angles, and you'll have him for the next decade, 15 years. It's easy, no brainer stuff. So that's really exciting to have. Like, Yamato is my personal favorite Dragon Gate wrestler, and so to have somebody who can be easily slotted into that position is just so valuable. So this match, again, it started very patiently. I would say there was definitely lots of Z-Brat's heat, lots of Shun lore. Some people think it's heavy-handed. I personally think it's like so entertaining.
I love it.
Shun being like a fucking lunatic out there. His big thing when he came back and started Masquerade was his, honestly, not that different from Keno. He's just so intense about his wrestling and how much he cares about and his craft. But the angle is that you also have to be like proper about it. Like, you have to do it the right way, not the right in like a moral sense, but the right in like this is an objectively right way to do what you're doing. Anything else is blasphemous. All right, and so that led to a fun angle with Masquerade breaking up, and then he just lost his mind about a year ago exactly at this time, and he's been a cackle merchant since then. He's been laughing a lot, which I think is very entertaining. He had a great tag team match at Kobe World with Diamante against Kung Fu Masters. And now Z-Brat's the leader was, nominally Kai. But at this point, Shun is the guy in Z-Brats, and he's the one in charge. And so he just feels like a big deal. The top heel in the company, Shun Skywalker. It feels like we're going to get, just like we got with Kai a year ago, a really dominant reign that eventually leads to somebody dethroning him and then Z-Brats breaking up. So with this match,
can we make a prediction on who that guy could be? Do you think we can do that now?
Who will dethrone Shun? Okay, all right. I don't want to know what you say yet. I didn't hear what you just said there. I want to think about it for a sec, actually. Dethroning Shun Skywalker.
I have like a very clear name that just goes right at me right now.
That you think is like Benkei?
No.
Okay, that's what
I think it's going to be one Takuma Fujiwara.
You think Takuma Fujiwara is going to be the one who dethrones him?
Yes.
Wow, I don't know about that. We'll see about that. But
we didn't think Yuki Yoshioka would go from the pervert mask to the Dreamgate champions.
Okay.
Yeah.
He was freed, Murph. He was freed from the pervert mask because he was just looking out for Dragon Dia because he knew that Shun's influence was negative. Okay, Murph. All right. So anyway, yeah, I would probably say like Benkei or KZ or someone like that. My guess is they don't do that many like relatively new champions in a row.
That's
you know
true.
What I mean?
Because it's now been Kai. Have to pull the trigger on KZ.
It's now been Kai, Yuki, and then Shun in his second reign, but he's still like so new.
I don't think it's Benkei's his time yet, but it's obviously I think it's the most entertaining guy in the company right now. So
he's awesome.
They're gonna do something big with him now. Like not to like get away from Shun too quickly, but I think that the way Benkei has reinvented himself over the last 6 months is nothing short of like remarkable. I mean, he went from a guy he's
the reinvention master, dude.
Yeah, but like he'd usually like reinvent his look. Now he's reinvented he's now like I was looking at indie Twitter like pages like with like the guy I was like monitoring the guys Dragon Gate coming into the United States. And I see a lot of people saying, "Wow, this Benkei guy has so much charisma," and like. If you told me that a year ago, I would laugh in your face because Benkei was like this very stoic. He didn't really have much charisma. He couldn't talk. And now he's this like guy who has his catchphrase and he walks around and has all this swagger. Like, it's just insane how Benkei is now this guy. So, I mean, Benkei also a great shout. I don't know if you can go babyface yet with this, but, that's definitely a great shout.
So, with this match, it built in a kind of patient build, and it made it to the closing stretch, and then it was just like bombs. And it was very reminiscent, not to keep bringing up Yamato, but of the Shun Yamato Kobe World match where they were just trading finishers, going back and forth. It was just like alpha versus alpha in there, right? It was just great. This match was fantastic. And then Shun, even though there was some like heat stuff at the beginning, much like Kai, he beats Yoshioka practically clean. 3-2, 1-2-3 in the center of the ring with the SSW, and new champion Zebrats is back on top. I did not think Zebrats would ever win that title again, but they have, and it is now Shun. So yeah, your champs in Dragon Gate right now: Shun, Skywalker, Minarita. Who are the Twin Gate champs?
Big time.
Oh, Daya and Kikuta. Yeah.
No.
What's that?
It's KZ and Big Boss.
KZ and Big Boss. Oh, they have him now. Okay. Big time. I get it. And then Ishin, Kai, and Hyo are the Triangle Gate, right?
Ishin, Kai, and Shun.
It's Shun. Okay. So Shun's a double champ now. Okay. All right.
And there's also the Ryukyu Dragon Pro belts, lingering around.
Yamato is their world champion. He managed to beat Shirumi Saver. Good job with the Galeria.
Yeah.
All right.
Big
so
win.
Something that I haven't seen many people talk about at all. Sorry, not to move on. Jamie, any comments on Shun or this match or anything like that?
Not too much that you guys haven't already said. Just like, I'm a kind of infrequent Dragon Gate viewer, but everything I've seen of Yuki Yoshioka, I've been super impressed with. He's been a great world champion. I'd say I probably wasn't as surprised as you two, but that's probably because I don't watch as much. And Shun's like a guy that I'm more familiar with, so I guess I just didn't rule out him winning as much. But yeah, I'm interested to see where they go with it, and I'm trying to watch a bit more Dragon Gate this year, get a bit more into it. So this is a good first match for me to have checked out this year.
I just wanted to touch in for this Dragon Gate. I think there are two other takeaways from this weekend, and the first was actually on the first night of the show, and there was the famous Dragon Gate
high-endo
unit must disband, which is the famous Dragon Gate stipulation, and there was a match between the Zebrats, BB Hulk, Hyo, Ishin, Kai, and Shun Skywalker, defeating high-end Dragon Kid, Kagetora, and Yamato, and friends with Mondai Ryu, the Problem Dragon, and Takashi Yoshida. And it ended with, the first, it wasn't the best unit must disband match you'll ever see. It was pretty actually average, but the final was Shun versus Yamato, and it was just the most killer finishing stretch. So sorry, I couldn't get the words up. Most killer finishing stretch, and I recommend everyone to at least watch that. Shun was able to kill off the high end once and for all, and now we do not know what direction they're going to go. But one thing we did learn after this match is that BB Hulk has left Zebrats and has gone back to his roots and has joined Gold Class. Gold Class being was supposed to be
being handsome,
a very handsome unit, and BB Hulk is known for being used to be always a handsome guy. So I don't know if he's going to go back to that, but Gold Class, and Parker may disagree with me on this. Kaito Ishida, great wrestler, obviously, but Kaito Ishida leaving Gold Class is probably the best thing that's ever happened to Gold Class. And the same goes to Naruki Doi going freelance, because they've been able to find their identity, and now they're a well-oiled machine with Ben K on top. Kota Minoura knowing that he's going to eventually, become this guy. And then you have Minarita, who's the Brave Gate champion. And then you now have BB Hulk, who can be a lost post, and he can, make a match.
It's really valuable, actually. We've seen, I think having a lost post is just so important. Like many of these units that get started in Dragon Gate and Stardom and all these other places where they just never fucking lose. Like when DDM started and now God's Eye, it's like, and of course Gold Class for a long time, but it's just, it makes them boring to me. It makes them not interesting to watch, that I know that they're never going to lose a match. And so, like, like it's cool when M3K. Not only, I know they had Konda, but a lot of the times Konda wouldn't be wrestling, and you knew that there was like actually some intrigue around the finish because Mochizuki would do everything, and then his son would like pick up the scraps essentially. So yeah, it's really valuable. Gold Class is like finally a fully fleshed out unit for the first time in its history, I would say, and I'm really looking forward to it. Can we talk about like holy fucking shit that Minoura Korakuen Hall angle was bad last year?
I talked to fellow Dragon Gate fans about it, and it was seen as maybe the worst angle in the recent history. We all know what they were going for, but Shuji Kondo and Kai were having this hot match. It was going great.
It was like getting good. I was like, okay, here we go.
And Dragon Gate isn't a promotion that
so
really.
Can I just like set the scene for people who might not be like crazy Dragon Gate fans? So Kai has this dominant Dream Gate run. He's a heel, but he's winning all of his title matches cleanly, right? He in King of Gate, right? Did he faced Kondo and lost in like
first round
12 seconds? Yeah, to the King Kong lariat. So it obviously sets up a title match. Kondo is like one of the most protected. He's a freelancer. He's one of the most protected guys in the company. So Kai versus Kondo is a really compelling match leading into Kobe World, and they're doing this match, and it's two titans of Dragon Gate in 2022, and
the lights go
out. It's starting to get really good. It's starting to become another like awesome Kai defense, and then the fucking lights go out in Korakuen Hall, and it's not Malachi Black, it's not some cool angle. It's the fucking 5'2" Minorita scurrying around, turning the lights off. The lights come back on. Kota Minoura, who hasn't even been like explicitly a heel up at this point, is out there beating the shit out of both Kai and Shuji Kondo, two of the top guys in the company. No contest, match is over, nothing happens. Minoura subsequently gets rewarded by being put into a 3-way elimination match to see who gets into the Kobe World main event slot. Kondo is the one who is left out of that. Yuki Yoshioka is the other one. And Kobe World has pathetic attendance compared to how they had the previous year, which of course was bolstered by Masato Yoshino's retirement show, but still.
And the Kobe World attendance could also be drawn up to the Dragon Gate fan base. As much as I love El Hijo del Santo and Ultimo Dragon, the Dragon Gate fan base really did not give a shit about that. So that was really another big thing. But that angle, there was the hoax going around where Nozawa Wrong guy was booking Dragon Gate. It seemed like not true. But, an angle like that made you think like, holy shit, this actually may be true. And obviously it was not, because that's just how bad of an angle that is for Dragon Gate.
It was just so stupid.
Traditionally the best book company arguably in the world. So, it was just not a good look.
It ruined it completely. Minoura was this on this meteoric rise of being, kind of where Yoshioka ended up being, and all of his momentum was completely shut off. Gold Class was in shambles. Minorita, which had been like a pretty fun hot act, took months to be reheated into where he is now, and so it was just one of the worst Puro angles I can remember in recent memory. So, so
when they cut to Minorita in the rafters, I was just like, oh fuck.
It was like DDT, but like really shitty DDT. And this is the angle to set up the main event of their Wrestle Kingdom.
No, it was really bad, and Yuki Yoshioka thankfully was able to recover some of the business. He drew some monster numbers, coming out of that show, but it kind of killed Kobe World, and was not good at all.
Oh fuck!
So, what's that about? So I am.
It's just, 1 minute.
Are you on Twitter? Okay. So I think that's.
1 sec.
What were you going to say, Jamie-san?
Speaking of Twitter, just to bring this up, obviously, we popped the number. We popped the number last week with some big Fed news. I'm going to assume this is Fed news, but Cassidy Haynes of Body Slam has
Wait a
has
minute.
tweeted
Hold on.
another
Hold
mysterious
on.
tweet.
No,
Jamie,
And
hang on. Do you see what it is?
I've not seen what it is. Wait, what is it?
Okay.
Jay Briscoe
It's
just passed away.
Oh
Jay
shit!
Briscoe. What the hell?
Oh holy shit!
Oh my god.
Oh my god.
It's official from Tony Khan. Sadly, Jamin Hugh has passed away, known to fans as Jay Briscoe. He was a star in Ring of Honor for 20 years. From the first show until today, Jay and his brother Mark dominated Ring of Honor, reigning as champions to this day. We'll do whatever we can to support his family. Rest in peace, Jamin. What in the world? I have no idea what to say here.
Yeah, that's
That is so sad.
I don't know what else to say about Pro right now. I don't really have the words.
So yeah, so this is confirmed by Tony Khan, in case anybody's wondering. Yeah, I don't know. I want to take, if you guys are up to it, I would love to just take a moment and talk about Jay Briscoe and some of the awesome, because Murph, you saw him wrestle like a million times, didn't you, in person?
Double digits. And he was always a very, 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 fan friendly. I mean, Jay Briscoe's story was a story of redemption. Jay Briscoe 10 years ago said some things that I don't feel comfortable saying, but Jay Briscoe for the last 10 years has worked hard, to repair all of those relationships and has worked hard to, become a person that I know firsthand was an ally to those in that community and also just an ally to all wrestlers in the business. So, this is heartbreaking. I extend my prayers and my grievances to the family of Jay Briscoe and all people that Jay Briscoe knows, especially to Dax Harwood and Cash Wheeler, because they just had an extended feud with them, and I know that it probably hits them very hard. So as much as I joke, I would like to, I don't know if they'll see this, but I extend my condolences to David and to Cash Wheeler. I don't know his first name. I apologize, but this is
So yeah, I think so, guys.
There's not much I have. I don't really feel comfortable saying much right now, but I just wanted to say that thank you, Jay, for really always being such an entertaining guy, from AEW to ROH, to Impact to New Japan. Jay Briscoe is a guy that it sucks that that his life had to end like this, but he's someone that has a volume of matches that people are going to remember forever. So I hope that we just remember how great he was in the story of redemption that was Jay Briscoe. And I just hope that Mark and his children and his wife, I hope they are all, okay. And someone who had to go through loss, recently in my personal life, I know how empty you can feel. So, I don't know if they're going to be watching a Wrestle Purist live stream, but I really hope that the Pugh family is, okay.
I think that was great, Murph. I frankly to say, I think we are going to cut it off here, guys. Thank you guys for tuning in. As always, we appreciate it. We'll be back here next week, hopefully upon better news. But I wouldn't feel right like our viewership went up. I wouldn't feel right exploiting that for content's sake. We will absolutely, assuming the circumstances warrant it, we will absolutely be like putting together some content in appreciation of Jay specifically. So in any case, this is Dumb Guy Live. Thank you, Jamie. Thank you, Murph. Thank you, Monty. Thank you, Murph, especially for those words. I think that was great. So Thank you, everybody. We'll catch you next time.